Well, we'll be back from that. It's exactly 12 minutes past 9. Smart Means Business, Andrew Barija here with Masi Katsume as we are taking you through all the way and definitely heading into the last hour of the show. Yes, and now, of course, still on that notice to remind you that all these conversations on the show are proudly powered by Zabu. That is a platform from Altex which has made your trading experience much more easy and friendly. Now, the market, as we speak right now, they're already in operation. And now you can participate by simply dialing *292#. And here you will be in position to actually buy yourself government bonds and securities for a fee of just 15,000 Ugandan shillings. And well, you will be in position to have your financial security established regardless of where you're located. You could be in the south, east, west, anywhere. You will definitely be in position to buy these bonds and securities efficiently. Zabu make this a reality for you. And also remember, on top of *292#, you have to register with your national identification number for you to proceed efficiently. That's why Zabu says, my money, my future. And all that East Africa tells you, you gotta do something new for yourself. Remember, it is 2023. Now, as we proceed into our discussion for the business inside, it's just a continuation from what we had yesterday in relation to the digital number plates. You know, something which has caused quite lots of talks, which is, till today. But of course, there are worries that all these talks might actually have an impact on how this system is going to be implemented. And of course, waiting for a report to be reviewed, of course, by the different stakeholders that are participating into this. And, of course, they need to take a look at the dynamics and all that. Some people were worried about the information security. Some people, actually, the biggest concern has been mainly on the prices of these digital plates. And, well, that is something that is really waiting to be looked into. Well,
now this is a battle between the Minister of Internal Affairs and the Minister of Security. Because now Kaindo Tafire appearing before the Committee of Physical Infrastructure, and of course him saying he does not know anything whatsoever about this. And, he says he got information from Wavamono about he was supposed to, about this very thing, because his business was shut down.
Yeah.
And I mean, he says that is when he got to know about this digital number place, about this company from the Russian company. And it really bothered me, really. Because his concern, Kaindo Tafire, Minister of Internal Affairs, was he wrote a letter to the president informing him that we have the Ugandan, how about we cooperate with the Ugandan manufacturers instead of having a company from
a foreign company
to come in and handle all the things. So definitely that is where the battle came in. But yesterday, the Minister of Security, Jim Muhwezi, came and clarified and said the company is there. And of course, the Minister of Internal Affairs was speaking out of his interests, selfish interests. And he says, according to the money people are talking about, the 700 plus money is false. Actually, here in a report, it says the actual money that is going to be paid, according to the minister who proposed this, the minister for actually security, he said the already registered vehicles will go for 150,000 Uganda shillings, 150,000. Then for the already registered motorcycles, for 50,000 Uganda shillings. Then for the 700,000 will be for the new vehicles. Of course, the new motorcycles. So the big issue is, what I am really worried about is the company they say is non-existent. Who could be right among the two?
Who's right?
Who is right among the two? So now the battle is up to the two ministries.
Yeah.
This one says the company is real, it is there. Let's commence with what we had proposed. And this one is coming up and saying, according to our investigations, the company is non-existent in Russia, it is in Poland. So what do we take as a nation?
Okay. That is quite, that's also a very important question to really notice into that perspective. But of course, as we wait for the nation to, we wait for the report by the different stakeholders, the other question is that for the countries that have actually already employed, that are already putting into place the digital plates, how are they performing for them? Now, we see that several countries, according to the report here, were exploring and implementing digital number plates, also known as electronic or smart license plates. Now, these digital plates incorporate quite electronic displays to show license plate numbers, and they can be actually updated remotely with information. This is the beauty about them. And now, however, the adaptation and the impact of these plates can vary. That is from country to country, and of course you need to understand that these developments are always, being upgraded all the time. Now, some of the few countries which we actually are known for using the digital plates worldwide, we have the United Arab Emirates, and of course the UAE introduced digital number plates that could actually could display alerts, there's advertisements and other information. And of course, they aimed to enhance communication between authorities and the drivers.
Okay.
Authorities and the drivers, enhancing that communication. But also, I think that can also be easy to track down. Sometimes we have issues of people that are hit down by vehicles, but they're not being attended to as a result of that. So this, according to the United Arab Emirates, the communication between authorities and drivers, that is quite very key. Even people nearby, probably, they could communicate to the authorities that and vehicle number this has knocked down somebody like this, and they'll be in position to actually track it down.
Or they could use a CCTV cameras.
CCTV cameras, as yet. But CCTV cameras in Uganda,
they're not really quite effective.
Have not really been quite effective. I've not seen crimes yet solved in Uganda, and
I mean,
the CCTV camera
there are few. There are just a few. Mostly, maybe
that's what I'm saying. I'm
not
seeing any.
Maybe for people like maybe those that have them personally, maybe around the shop.
Okay, talking about but I'm talking about this that are planted on the crimes that are committed on the streets. In most cases, it is less of an impact as a result of that. So it's really hard.
The cameras are not being active. People in the control room are sleeping.
I don't know what the issue is. Or maybe, actually, some people are saying they're not clear enough in terms of getting a picture of somebody. Most especially, we have softwares called facial recognition softwares.
Yes.
Which do that.
Remember in China, people were complaining about the
facial recognition, privacy and all that. So that really can create for you a picture of what it is like. Now there is California, USA. California tested digital plates that allowed, that is the vehicle owners to register their cars, that is electronically, and display the registration on an electronic screen. So different countries, of course, depending on the different technology that they actually hold, largely determines how far they go when it comes to implementing these. Now there is also Australia. Australia is also implementing the digital plates. Some states in Australia, such as Queensland, of course, began testing digital number plates with similar capabilities to those of the United Arab Emirates. And of course, those included the aspect of them being the driver and authorities are in position to actually communicate. And the beauty about this, when I was yesterday with the public relations officer of the Ministry of Works, she mentioned something that we have an advantage, that this company is actually going to be cater for the infrastructure in terms of gadgets. Now for us, our role is going to rely on the steadiness and connectivity of internet, because you have to be online 24/7. As a result of that, and now that links me back to the 5G that we have. How efficient can we actually put it to use to make sure that we can actually make of great use of the digital plates and they serve their right intention in the long run. So that is something that we need to really look into, and I believe once we have it ready. But of course, as you know,
don't you think for it to be even more effective, we have to incorporate in our Ugandan manufacturers? But of course, okay, those will be getting skills, because remember, because this is set for 10 years
Actually, there is a
until government takes over.
Takes over. But you see, in those 10 years, they're going to be they're going to set up a factory here that makes those plates. And the people that are going to be employed are Ugandans. Technicians, most especially. IT technicians and all that. So, in a 10-year period, it's enough to do a skill transfer. Actually, a 10-year period is long. People can learn a skill in the shortest time possible, to be in position to move on efficiently. So that is the digital plates out there for you. Though the price has been a little bit costly, but of course they based on quite a lot of things, because remember, when this company comes to construct a plant here, that is money. You know, tax, of course taxes are a little bit fair, but I take a look at the infrastructure and all that, and it's going to be a little bit costly. So maybe, but of course that doesn't mean it won't be discussed, the pricing and all that. 720,000, because if you see when these normal plates, people
for the new cars,
but that is for the people that are just importing vehicles. But those which are already there, it will be the same price.
150.
Yeah.
150, which is quite
but the new prices,
affordable for 150. I mean, if you can own a car, you fuel it, you put 200,000, then you can register. 150 is affordable. Even for motorcycle riders, it's 50,000 is affordable. That is something you can make within a month and even have more profits. But of course, the talk is actually also on the percentage of what we're going to be receiving as a country, 15%. That is expected 12 billion monthly from digital plates, and of course we're going to be receiving 1.8 billion. The rest going to this Russian company, 85%.
Well, that is depending on the negotiation deals between the stakeholders and the company contractor.
But for now, we need to know if the reality of it is whether the company is existent before we plan.
You know, there are some things which are high classified, most especially things to do with security.
Yeah. Anyway, maybe that could be the case.
But also, there's something you also need to understand. Producing the number plates from Poland, remember there is a war in Russia, right? So why not ship to, if being based in Uganda doesn't stop me from having a manufacturing base in Kenya.
By the way, that could also be a possibility.
There is a war in Russia, so Russia is a little bit, now we see the mercenary. I've been watching during the break and do you know what really that means? That means there is some serious war in Russia. So business productivity and all that is all affected. So there is a possibility that they manufacture from Poland and distribute. And somebody comes and says,
initially it was Russia,
but later on there.
That could be a possibility. So.
All right, it's 25 minutes past 9. We come to the end of here, but definitely when we return, we shall be also exploring the positive and negative impacts of the digital plates, and of course we shall be winding it up with a discussion from one of the stakeholders, of course the one that leads people that, the possible stakeholders, who are most especially those dealing in car bonds and all that. Well, more of that are going to be coming up after the break.